Liam Carter was a young man who had everything. He was only 34 years old, but he was already a millionaire. He had made his money by starting his own technology company, and it had grown very fast. People admired him for his success, but many also thought he was arrogant. Liam believed that money could buy anything: respect, happiness, and even love. He was used to living a luxurious life, filled with expensive cars, fancy parties, and beautiful women. Liam loved showing off his wealth. He enjoyed the attention and the way people looked up to him. He was very good at charming people, especially women. But deep down, Liam didn't believe in true love. To him, relationships were just games, and he was the best player. He had been in many relationships, but they never lasted long. He was always looking for the next exciting thing. One evening, Liam went to an exclusive party in the city. It was the kind of party where only rich and famous people were invited. The room was filled with glittering lights, loud music, and people dressed in expensive clothes. Liam walked in confidently, wearing a tailored suit that made him look even more powerful. As soon as he entered, his friends came to greet him. They laughed, drank expensive champagne, and talked about their latest business deals and conquests. After a while, the conversation turned to women. Liam's friends started teasing him, saying that he always dated the most beautiful, thin, and stylish women. They joked that he never gave a chance to anyone who didn't fit the perfect image. Liam smiled proudly and said, "I could marry anyone I want and make her fall for me. It doesn't matter who she is." He was very confident, almost cocky. One of his friends, Jason, looked at him with a mischievous smile. "Okay, Liam, here's a challenge for you," he said. "We bet that you can't marry a woman who is overweight, someone totally different from your usual type, and stay married to her for a whole year. If you win, we'll give you $500,000. But if you lose, you have to pay double." Everyone laughed, but Liam was serious. He loved a good challenge, and this one sounded like fun. He didn't think it would be hard. "Deal," he said without hesitation. "I will marry the first woman who fits your description, and I'll show you all that I can keep the marriage strong for a year. You're on." The next day, Liam's friends helped him find the woman for the bet. They didn't want anyone from their social circle because that would be too obvious. Instead, they looked for someone who lived a simple life, someone who was not rich or famous. After some searching, they found Sarah Milton. Sarah was very different from the women Liam usually met. She was a librarian in a small neighborhood library. She loved books, quiet places, and simple things. Sarah was overweight, with a warm smile and kind eyes. She was shy and didn't have many friends, but everyone who knew her liked her because she was gentle and honest. Sarah didn't care about money or fame. She wanted to find someone who would love her for who she was. When Liam first saw Sarah, he thought she was the perfect woman for his bet. He didn't care about her size or looks. He only cared about winning the challenge. So he went to the library where Sarah worked. He pretended to be interested in books and asked her for help finding some novels. Sarah was surprised but happy to help. She noticed that Liam was polite and charming. Over the next few weeks, Liam visited the library often. He talked to Sarah about books, music, and their lives. He told her about his company and how much he loved reading too. Sarah enjoyed the conversations, and slowly she started trusting him. Liam was careful not to reveal the real reason he was spending time with her. Sarah believed Liam genuinely liked her. One day, Liam invited Sarah to dinner at a nice restaurant. Sarah was nervous but excited. She had never been treated like this before. Liam was kind and attentive, making her feel special. Sarah thought she might have found someone who saw beyond her size and loved her heart. Liam, meanwhile, was starting to feel something he hadn't felt before, a real connection. After a few months of dating, Liam proposed to Sarah. She was surprised but said yes. She felt happy and hopeful about their future. Sarah believed Liam loved her, and she dreamed of a life filled with happiness. Liam knew the truth about the bet, but he kept it a secret. He told himself it was just a game and he would figure out what to do later. They got married in a small ceremony with only close friends and family. Sarah wore a simple white dress, and Liam looked very handsome in his suit. Sarah's face shone with joy, and Liam smiled, though inside he felt a little unsure. He still thought of the bet, but he also couldn't deny that Sarah was kind and caring in a way no one had been before. For the first few weeks, Liam played the part of the perfect husband. He took Sarah to fancy restaurants, bought her gifts, and introduced her to his friends. Sarah felt loved and cherished. She was grateful to have found someone like Liam. But Liam's friends didn't know about Sarah's kindness or her gentle spirit. To them, this was just a joke. Behind closed doors, Liam struggled with his feelings. He felt guilty about the bet, but also confused. Sarah's warmth was breaking through his cold heart. He began to see her not as a challenge or a joke, but as a person with real feelings and dreams. Sarah never complained about his past or his mistakes. She only wanted to make him happy. Liam started to change. He stopped going to wild parties and canceled plans with old girlfriends. He spent more time at home with Sarah, listening to her stories and sharing his own. Slowly, he realized that money and looks were not the most important things in life. What mattered most was love and trust. Sarah, meanwhile, was unaware of the bet. She thought Liam loved her sincerely. She gave him her heart completely and trusted him with all her hopes. She believed that this marriage could last forever. But the secret bet hung over Liam like a dark cloud. He knew that one day, the truth might come out and hurt Sarah deeply. Despite the doubt inside him, Liam continued to act like a loving husband. He wanted to prove to himself that he could change and be a better man. He began to appreciate Sarah's simple life, her kindness, and her patience. Liam realized that true love was not about winning or losing, but about caring for someone no matter what. The days turned into weeks, and Liam's feelings grew stronger. Sarah's love gave him a new kind of happiness he had never known. But the bet still remained in the back of his mind. He wondered if he could keep the secret and protect Sarah's heart, or if everything would soon come crashing down. In the end, Liam's journey had just begun. What started as a cruel bet was slowly turning into a real love story. But the road ahead was uncertain. Would Liam be able to overcome his past and truly love Sarah? Or would the truth destroy everything they had built? After their wedding, Sarah and Liam started their married life together. Sarah was very happy. She believed that she had found a man who truly loved her for who she was. She was a little nervous sometimes, but Liam was always kind and caring. At first, Liam acted like the perfect husband. He would take Sarah out to dinner, buy her small gifts, and tell her how beautiful and special she was. Sarah felt loved, and this made her heart warm. She was glad that Liam saw her as more than just her appearance. She thought their love story was real, just like the fairy tales she had read as a child. But Liam's heart was confused. Deep down he knew the truth, that his marriage had started as a bet. He had promised his friends he could marry any woman and keep her for a year. He didn't tell Sarah about this cruel challenge. Every time he looked at her, he felt a mix of guilt and surprise. Sarah was different from any woman he had met before. She was not just kind, but patient and loving in a way that touched him deeply. This was not the kind of relationship Liam expected to have when he agreed to the bet. Liam started noticing small things about Sarah that made him feel happy. He saw how she always remembered his favorite coffee and made it for him every morning. He saw how she laughed at his silly jokes and cared about his feelings. Sarah didn't try to change him or ask for expensive gifts. She wanted simple moments together, watching movies, reading books, or taking walks in the park. For the first time, Liam felt peace and comfort in someone's presence. It was strange for him, but also very beautiful. As weeks passed, Liam found himself spending more and more time at home with Sarah. He stopped going to loud parties and canceled meetings with old girlfriends. Instead, he wanted to listen to Sarah's stories and learn about her world. Sarah worked as a librarian and loved her job. She told Liam about the books she read and the people she helped every day. Liam admired her dedication and kindness. He realized that Sarah's life was very different from his fast-paced, money-driven world, but he liked this difference. It made him feel more grounded and human. Sarah also noticed changes in Liam. She saw that he was becoming more thoughtful and gentle. Sometimes, when Liam thought no one was watching, she caught him smiling quietly, or helping others without being asked. Sarah was happy to see the man she loved growing into a better person. She didn't know about the bet, but she trusted Liam completely. She believed that love could change people, and she hoped that their love story was proof of that. Despite Liam's growing feelings, the secret bet remained a heavy weight in his mind. He wondered how long he could keep the truth from Sarah. Sometimes he thought about telling her everything. He wanted to be honest, but he was afraid of hurting her. He knew that if Sarah found out, she would feel betrayed and devastated. Liam was scared that he would lose the only person who made him feel truly alive. One day, Liam's old friends invited him to a party. They wanted to check if he was still serious about the bet. When Liam arrived, they teased him and asked how things were going with Sarah. Liam tried to avoid the topic, but his friends kept pressing him. They reminded him that the bet was about winning, not feelings. Liam felt torn between his past and his present. He realized that the man he used to be was disappearing, replaced by someone who cared about love and honesty. Meanwhile, Sarah continued living her simple and happy life. She was grateful for the love Liam gave her. She never imagined that their marriage was a joke. Sarah had faced many challenges in her life because of her size and quiet nature. People often judged her or ignored her, but Liam saw her for who she really was. This made her feel special and confident. She believed that she deserved happiness just like anyone else. At home, Sarah would often talk to Liam about her dreams. She wanted to travel to new places, help children learn to read, and maybe start a small book club for people like her. Liam listened carefully and encouraged her. He even began planning small trips and surprises to make Sarah happy. These moments brought them closer together. Liam felt proud of Sarah's strength and kindness. One evening, they invited Liam's parents to their home for dinner. Liam had not been close to his parents for many years. Their relationship was difficult because his parents wanted him to focus only on business and success. They never understood Liam's softer side or his feelings. Sarah wanted to help bring Liam's family together. She prepared a delicious meal and made the house feel warm and welcoming. During the dinner, Sarah's kindness and sincerity impressed Liam's parents. They saw how happy she made their son, and for the first time they smiled with approval. Liam was touched to see his family laughing and sharing stories again. He realized that Sarah was helping heal old wounds. This moment became very important for Liam. He began to understand that family and love were more valuable than money or status. After dinner, Liam felt a strong desire to change. He wanted to be honest with Sarah, but he didn't know how to start. He spent many nights thinking about the right words. He wanted to tell her the truth about the bet, but he feared losing her forever. Liam knew that he had fallen in love with Sarah, not because of a challenge or money, but because she was a beautiful person inside and out. However, fate had other plans. One night at a charity event, some of Liam's old friends came too drunk and careless. They started talking loudly about the bet. One of them, angry and jealous, didn't realize that Sarah was nearby and could hear everything. Sarah's heart broke when she heard the cruel truth that Liam had married her as part of a bet and never loved her at first. The betrayal was painful and deep. Sarah felt humiliated, angry, and sad all at once. Without saying a word, Sarah left the event. She stopped answering Liam's calls and messages. She packed her things and went back to her small apartment. Sarah was hurt, but she didn't want to make a scene. She needed time to think and heal. The woman who had once trusted Liam completely now felt lost and betrayed. She wondered if she could ever trust anyone again. Liam was shocked and devastated. He had never meant to hurt Sarah. His feelings for her were real, but now everything was falling apart. He tried to explain and apologize, but Sarah wasn't ready to listen. She needed space and time to understand what had happened. Liam realized that his mistake was not just the bet, but keeping it a secret. He wished he could turn back time and be honest from the start. As days passed, Liam began to change even more. He stopped going to parties and focused on fixing his mistakes. He knew he had to prove to Sarah that he had changed, not just with words but with actions. Liam started helping others, volunteering at the library where Sarah worked. He wanted to show her that he was serious about becoming a better man. But winning Sarah's trust back would not be easy. Sarah's life was different now. She avoided Liam and tried to focus on her work and friends. The pain of betrayal made her question her own worth. But deep inside, she still loved the man who had once made her feel special. She was confused and scared, but also hopeful that maybe, just maybe, Liam could change for real. The story of Liam and Sarah was no longer just about a bet. It was about trust, love, and forgiveness. Both had to face their fears and mistakes. Liam had to prove that his love was genuine. Sarah had to decide if she could open her heart again. Their journey was difficult, but it showed that sometimes love comes in unexpected ways and teaches us important lessons about life. Months had passed since the terrible night at the charity event when Sarah had discovered the truth about Liam's bet. The secret that Liam had tried so hard to hide was now out in the open, and it had shattered everything Sarah believed in. Her heart felt broken, and her trust in Liam was completely destroyed. She couldn't understand how the man she had loved so deeply could have started their marriage as a joke. The pain was heavy on her, and she found herself closing off from the world. Sarah left Liam's home that very night and returned to her quiet apartment. The place that once felt warm and filled with love now seemed cold and empty. Every corner reminded her of the dreams she had built with Liam, dreams that now felt like a cruel lie. She struggled to sleep, her mind racing with thoughts of betrayal. She asked herself, how could he do this to me? Was I ever truly loved? Liam, on the other hand, was devastated. The man who once believed love was a game was now realizing the true cost of his actions. He had lost the one person who had brought real meaning into his life. His heart was heavy with regret and shame. He spent days and nights thinking about what he had done and how to make things right. But he knew that words alone could never heal the pain he had caused Sarah. For the first time in his life, Liam understood the meaning of true love, not as a game or a challenge, but as something precious that needed respect and care. He wanted to fix what he had broken, but he also knew it would be the hardest thing he had ever done. Liam decided that he needed to change, not just for Sarah, but for himself. He stopped attending the parties, the business meetings that only focused on money, and the shallow conversations with his old friends. Instead, he chose to live a simpler life. He started spending time at the library where Sarah worked, volunteering to help with reading programs and organizing community events. He wanted to show Sarah that he had changed, that his love for her was now real and sincere. At first, Sarah ignored him. She refused to answer his calls or meet him in person. Her trust was broken, and she was not ready to forgive. She focused on her work and surrounded herself with her close friends and family, who supported her through the painful days. Sarah needed time to heal and find herself again. The woman who once believed in fairy tale love now felt lost in a world filled with doubt and sadness. Liam did not give up. Every day he showed up at the library, quietly helping where he could. He didn't ask for forgiveness or make grand promises. Instead, he worked hard to prove through his actions that he was a different man. He helped children learn to read, fixed broken bookshelves, and listened patiently to the elderly visitors. He wanted Sarah to see the real Liam, the man who had learned from his mistakes and wanted to be better. During this time, the story of Liam and Sarah caught the attention of the media. A reporter heard about the bet and the heartbreak that followed. Soon, their story was shared all over the news and social media. People were shocked that a wealthy man could treat love as a bet, and that a kind woman like Sarah had been hurt so deeply. Many people felt sympathy for Sarah and admired her strength. They also watched Liam's efforts to change with hope, wondering if true love could really heal such a deep wound. Sarah was uncomfortable with the public attention. She never wanted her private life to become a spectacle. But she also found comfort in the kind messages from strangers who told her she deserved happiness and respect. These words helped Sarah rebuild her confidence and reminded her that she was more than her pain. Liam's life changed completely during this time. He realized that money and power meant nothing without love and honesty. He sold several of his luxury cars and donated the money to charity. He left behind the glamorous lifestyle that once defined him. Now he found joy in simple acts of kindness and genuine connection. Despite the public support and Liam's changes, Sarah was still hurt. She couldn't forget the betrayal or the way Liam had hidden the truth from her. Every time she looked at him, she remembered the pain and humiliation she had felt. But deep inside, there was a small part of her that wanted to believe in love again. She wanted to believe that Liam's transformation was real, and that maybe, one day, they could find their way back to each other. One afternoon, after many months of quiet distance, Sarah finally agreed to meet Liam for coffee. It wasn't a romantic reunion, but a cautious step toward healing. They met at a small cafe, a place Sarah loved because it was peaceful and simple. Liam arrived early, nervous but hopeful. When Sarah walked in, she looked different, stronger, more confident. Liam's heart raced as he saw the woman he had hurt, but also the woman he still loved. They talked for hours. Liam apologized sincerely, without excuses or blame. He told Sarah how much he regretted his actions and how much he had changed. Sarah listened carefully, her eyes filled with tears. She asked him many questions, wanting to understand the man he had become. Liam answered honestly, sharing his journey of self-discovery and growth. For Sarah, this meeting was not about forgiveness. It was about truth and understanding. She wanted to see if Liam's love was real and if he was truly committed to being a better person. She told him how much she had suffered and how much trust meant to her. Liam promised to never take her love for granted again. After that day, Liam and Sarah began slowly rebuilding their relationship. It was not easy. There were days filled with doubt and sadness, but also moments of hope and happiness. They learned to communicate better, to listen and respect each other's feelings. Liam showed Sarah through small, consistent actions that he was no longer the man who had made a bet. He was a man who loved her truly and deeply. Sarah also changed during this time. She became more confident and independent. She pursued new hobbies, made new friends, and focused on her dreams. But most importantly, she learned to forgive, not just Liam, but also herself. She realized that her worth was not defined by someone else's mistakes, but by her own strength and kindness. Their love story became one of redemption and hope. It was not perfect, but it was real. Liam and Sarah showed the world that even broken hearts could heal, and that true love could rise from pain. They renewed their vows in a small ceremony surrounded by friends and family who had supported them through the journey. Liam no longer cared about the money he had lost in the bet. The $500,000 was nothing compared to the love he had found and the man he had become. Sarah, the woman he had once underestimated, was now his biggest supporter and the love of his life. Together, they proved that sometimes the most unexpected love stories are the ones that teach us the most about life, forgiveness, and true happiness. Life after their slow and painful reunion was not easy for Sarah and Liam. The past still hung over them like a shadow, reminding them of the pain and mistrust that had once torn them apart. But both Sarah and Liam were determined to build a new life together, one built on honesty, respect, and true love. This part of their journey was about healing, rebuilding, and discovering what real love truly meant. In the early days after their reconciliation, Liam showed Sarah every day that he was committed to being a better man. He wasn't perfect, but he was sincere. He made sure to listen more than he spoke and to show his care through small actions. He woke up early to make breakfast for Sarah, even though he wasn't used to cooking. He remembered her favorite flowers and surprised her with them on ordinary days just to see her smile. These small acts made Sarah's heart soften, even though the hurt from the past was still there. Sarah, too, changed a lot during this time. The woman who once doubted her worth because of her size and others' judgments now walked with a new confidence. She began to see herself not just as the fat woman who had been hurt, but as someone strong, kind, and worthy of love. Liam's love helped her see that beauty was more than skin deep. She started taking better care of herself, not to please anyone else, but because she wanted to feel healthy and happy. She joined a dance class, something she had always wanted to do but never dared to try before. The joy she found in dancing gave her a new sense of freedom and happiness. Together, Sarah and Liam explored new hobbies and interests. They started traveling to places Sarah had dreamed of seeing. Their first trip was to a small coastal town where the air was fresh and the sunsets were beautiful. Sarah loved walking on the beach and collecting shells, while Liam enjoyed listening to the stories of the local people they met. For the first time in years, they experienced moments of pure happiness, without the fear or doubts of their past. Their relationship grew deeper as they spent time together, learning about each other's dreams and fears. Sarah shared stories about her childhood, the struggles she had faced growing up overweight in a world that valued thinness. Liam talked about his own childhood, how he had always felt pressure to succeed and prove himself. These conversations brought them closer, creating a bond based on understanding and empathy. But life was not without its challenges. Liam's past friends, the ones who had made the bet in the first place, did not approve of the changes in him. They teased him and tried to pull him back into his old lifestyle. Liam had to make difficult choices, deciding who to keep in his life. He chose Sarah and his new values over the shallow friendships he once had. This decision was hard, but it showed his commitment to their new life together. Sarah also faced challenges from her own family. Some relatives were skeptical about her relationship with Liam. They questioned whether he truly loved her, or if it was just a phase. This doubt hurt Sarah deeply, but she stood strong. She knew that love was about what she and Liam shared, not what others thought. Over time, even the skeptical relatives saw the change in Liam and the happiness in Sarah, and they began to accept their relationship. One important part of their healing was learning to communicate openly. In the past, Liam had hidden the truth about the bet, and Sarah had hidden her feelings of pain. Now they promised to always speak honestly, even when it was difficult. This honesty helped them avoid misunderstandings and build trust. When arguments came, they talked calmly and listened to each other, instead of getting angry or shutting down. Their home became a place of warmth and love. They decorated it together, filling it with books, pictures, and mementos from their travels. Sarah loved to cook, and Liam became her eager taste tester. They spent evenings watching movies, reading stories aloud, or simply sitting quietly holding hands. These simple moments were the foundation of their happiness. Sarah's work at the library continued to be important to her. Liam supported her fully, even volunteering to help organize community events. Together, they started a program to encourage reading among children from underprivileged backgrounds. This program brought joy to many young kids and gave Sarah a deep sense of purpose. Liam felt proud to stand beside her, seeing how much good she was doing. As the years passed, Sarah and Liam faced life's ups and downs like any couple. They celebrated successes and comforted each other during hard times. When Sarah's mother fell ill, Liam stayed by her side, helping with hospital visits and care. When Liam faced a difficult business decision, Sarah was there to encourage and support him. Their love was no longer about appearances or bets. It was about partnership, loyalty, and kindness. One of the most touching moments in their journey came when Liam planned a surprise for Sarah's birthday. He rented a small hall and invited all their friends and family. The hall was decorated with fairy lights, flowers, and pictures of their memories together. Liam gave a heartfelt speech, thanking Sarah for changing his life and making him a better man. Sarah was overwhelmed with emotion. She realized how far they had come from that terrible bet and painful betrayal to this beautiful moment of love and celebration. During this event, Sarah gave a speech too. She spoke about forgiveness, strength, and the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds. Her words inspired everyone present. Many guests wiped tears from their eyes. Sarah's courage and kindness shone through, making it clear that she was a woman who had overcome great pain and emerged stronger. Their love story also inspired others outside their circle. They started speaking at events about their journey, about mistakes, forgiveness, and true love. Their talks helped many people understand that real love is not perfect, but is about growth and acceptance. Sarah and Liam became examples of how even the most broken relationships could find hope and happiness. Despite all the positive changes, Sarah and Liam never forgot the lessons from their painful past. They used those memories as reminders to always be honest, kind, and patient with each other. They understood that love required effort every day, and they were willing to give that effort. Liam continued to work on himself. He sought counseling to understand why he had made the bet and how to be a better partner. This self-awareness helped him grow emotionally and spiritually. Sarah supported him in this journey, proud of the man he was becoming. Sarah also pursued her own dreams with renewed energy. She decided to write a book about her life and their story. Writing helped her process her feelings and share her message of hope with the world. Her book became popular among readers who related to her struggles and admired her strength. Their relationship was no longer about money or appearances. It was about deep connection, respect, and true love. They learned that love was not just about happy moments but about standing together through hardships. Sarah and Liam's journey showed that even when love starts in a broken way, it can grow into something beautiful if both people are willing to change and forgive. As they grew older, their love only deepened. They celebrated anniversaries with joy, traveled to new places, and made new memories. They became a family, not just with each other but with the friends and community they had built around them. Their home was filled with laughter, love, and warmth. Looking back, Sarah often thought about the bet that started it all. She didn't hate Liam for what he had done, because she knew that people make mistakes. Instead, she was proud of how far they had come together. Liam was no longer the man who had made a cruel bet. He was a man who loved her deeply and had grown because of that love. Their story was a reminder that life is full of surprises. Sometimes what begins with pain and betrayal can turn into a beautiful journey of love, growth, and forgiveness. Sarah and Liam's love was proof that true happiness comes not from wealth or appearances but from the heart. Years had passed since the bet that had started it all. Sarah and Liam's life together was a story that had transformed in ways no one could have predicted. What began with a cruel game had become a genuine, deep love that stood strong through challenges, misunderstandings, and time. Their journey was now about finding true happiness, building a family, and giving back to the world that had once watched their story unfold with surprise and curiosity. Sarah and Liam had learned so much over the years. The pain of the past had slowly faded, replaced by a strong foundation of trust and respect. They had become partners in every sense, sharing not only love but dreams, struggles, and successes. Every morning, Liam would look at Sarah and feel grateful for the woman who had taught him how to love honestly. Sarah, too, would smile at Liam, knowing that he was no longer the man she once feared but someone who had grown into a better person because of her love and forgiveness. They had decided to start a family together, something they hadn't dared to think about during the difficult early years. When Sarah found out she was pregnant, both were overwhelmed with joy and hope. The news was a new beginning, a symbol of their commitment to building a future based on real love and partnership. Sarah's pregnancy was filled with excitement and careful preparation. Liam took on every role with dedication, attending doctor's appointments, reading parenting books, and making sure Sarah felt supported and loved every step of the way. The birth of their child was a beautiful moment, filled with tears, laughter, and the promise of a new chapter. They named their daughter Emma, a name that meant whole and universal. For Sarah and Liam, Emma was a symbol of healing and unity, a living proof that love could overcome even the most difficult challenges. As new parents, they learned patience and unconditional love all over again. The sleepless nights and endless diaper changes were hard, but they faced them together, growing stronger as a family. Raising Emma was a joyful and sometimes challenging experience. Sarah and Liam made sure to teach her the values they had come to cherish: kindness, honesty, and respect for others regardless of their appearance or background. They wanted Emma to grow up knowing that true beauty comes from the heart and that love is the most important thing in life. As Emma grew, she showed a bright and curious spirit, often asking questions about her parents' past and the lessons they had learned. Sarah and Liam answered honestly, hoping their story would inspire her to be brave and kind. Outside their family life, Sarah and Liam continued their work in the community. Their charity programs grew bigger and more successful, reaching more children and families in need. Sarah's book about her life and their love story became a bestseller, touching the hearts of readers worldwide. She received letters from people who had been inspired by her strength and courage, who saw their own struggles reflected in her story. These messages gave Sarah a deep sense of fulfillment and reminded her why she had chosen to share her life with the world. Liam, too, found new purpose. He had started a foundation to support women's self-esteem and health, especially those who struggled with body image issues. He spoke openly about his mistakes and the lessons he had learned, hoping to help others avoid the pain he had caused. His honesty made him respected not just as a businessman, but as a man of integrity. Liam and Sarah often worked together on events and programs, united by their shared vision of making the world a kinder, more loving place. Their relationship remained strong, built on the lessons of forgiveness and growth. They celebrated every anniversary with gratitude, remembering how far they had come from the day their lives were forever changed by that awful bet. They traveled often, exploring new places with Emma and creating memories that would last a lifetime. Their home was filled with love, laughter, and the happy chaos of family life. Despite their happiness, Sarah and Liam never forgot the struggles they had faced. They made it a point to teach Emma about resilience and the importance of treating everyone with kindness no matter their differences. They wanted their daughter to grow up understanding that life can be tough, but love and courage can help overcome any obstacle. One of the most special moments came when Emma started school. Sarah and Liam stood hand in hand, proud and nervous, at the same time. They knew their daughter would face a world filled with challenges, but they had prepared her well. Emma was confident, kind, and smart, a true reflection of the love and support she had received from her parents. As the years passed, Sarah and Liam grew older together, their bond deepening like a fine wine. They faced health issues and the natural challenges of aging with grace and support. They leaned on each other, finding comfort in the life they had built and the family they had created. Their love story had become an example to everyone around them, a story of hope, redemption, and the power of true love. Looking back, Sarah often thought about the journey that had brought them here. She never imagined that the millionaire who had once made a cruel bet would become the loving father of her child and her greatest supporter. Liam, too, was grateful every day for the chance to make things right and to love Sarah fully and sincerely. They knew that their story was unique but also universal, a reminder that even the hardest beginnings can lead to the most beautiful endings. Their friends and family admired their transformation and the strength of their relationship. Many told them that their love was a lesson to all, that forgiveness and genuine change were possible if two people were willing to try. Sarah and Liam often smiled at these compliments, knowing that their journey was far from perfect, but that they had made it through with honesty and heart. One day, as they sat together watching the sunset, Liam took Sarah's hand and told her how proud he was of the woman she had become. Sarah smiled and replied that she was proud of the man he had become too. They both knew that their love was a gift, one that had grown from pain but blossomed into something beautiful and lasting. Their story was not just about a bet or a broken marriage. It was about two people who chose to grow, forgive, and love beyond all odds. It was about the power of kindness, the importance of respect, and the magic of second chances. Sarah and Liam's life together was proof that love, when true and sincere, can heal wounds, transform hearts, and create a future filled with hope and happiness. As their daughter Emma grew into a young woman, she carried the lessons of her parents' journey with her. She became a compassionate, confident person who understood the value of love and forgiveness. Sarah and Liam watched her with pride, knowing that their love story had given her a foundation of strength that would carry her through her own life's challenges. Their family remained close, surrounded by friends and loved ones who had supported them through every step. The community they helped continued to grow, touching more lives and spreading messages of hope and kindness. Sarah and Liam often looked back on their journey with gratitude, thankful for the chance to rewrite their story and create a life filled with love. In the end, their story was a celebration of life's possibilities. It showed that even when love starts in the most unlikely ways, it can grow into something beautiful if nurtured with care and truth. Sarah and Liam had learned that love is not about appearances or bets. It is about respect, growth, and the willingness to forgive. Their love was a shining example for everyone who knew them, a reminder that happiness is found not in perfection, but in the imperfect, honest moments shared between two people who truly care. And so they lived their lives full of love, hope, and endless gratitude, knowing that their journey together was the greatest story they would ever tell.